according to Mythos, 100% of you are subscribed. Good job. I genuinely believe that Fugue has completely broken my perception of reality within Star Rail. Her Eidolon 2 is massively broken to a fundamental level, in my personal opinion. And in this video, I want to show you guys specifically why. So I kind of want to make this to show you what I consider to be mathematically correct Fugue. To get a broader idea of what I'm talking about, I made different builds to test out in different game modes, but I want to focus mainly in Pure Fiction, where I think this is the most busted that it could be. In this video, I want to kind of show proof that what you mostly need in order to make this setup work is the Harmony Trailblazer and Fugue's Eidolon 2. For the Harmony Trailblazer, it is likely that you will be having them at Eidolon 6, since you can get all of her Eidolons for free. That being said, I do recommend that this build more than anything pops off incredibly hard when you do have Ruan Mei in there, and from my personal experience, Rappa is a DPS that can abuse this, in particular because they do AoE damage since they are an erudition unit. This can also work with Firefly, but I find that it works a lot better if you have Firefly Eidolon 2, but that would be even more spending, and be careful with your expenditures, guys. Don't be like me and suffer. Anyways, let us head on with the video. First things first, what does Fugue's Eidolon 2 do? When an enemy target's weakness gets broken, Fugue regenerates 3 energy. After using her ultimate, advance the action of all allies by 24%, which is essentially what a Dance 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 light cone at Superimposition 5 does. Now, in the grand scheme of things, 3 energy per enemy doesn't really feel like a lot, because at best, this means that you're only getting 15 energy per wave, and your ultimate costs 130. So it really isn't anything meaningful. It's barely above like 10% of an energy recovery. Well, here's where we add a little bit of extra math, because Fugue's own talent makes it so that you can be able to break an enemy twice. This is because of Exo Toughness, because whenever Exo Toughness is broken, you're able to get another break instance. This would mean that now, instead of getting only 15 energy per wave, you're able to get 30. And this is essentially double what we had before, but it doesn't really feel like it would be anything that meaningful, right? Now we're essentially at 30 out of 130, which is a little bit more than 25%. Something else that I was completely forgetting to talk about is whenever you cast your ultimate, you're also gaining 5 extra energy. So we're going to have that at 35 for the time being, because we are not done generating energy just yet. We can equip Fugue with the Thief of Shooting Meteor set, which, you know, it's like that one old set that we would often get but didn't really see much use of it. I feel like at times there were moments where I think Sushang used it and Budhill for a bit, but in all honesty, this set is turbo broken on Fugue in particular. The reason is because of the 4-piece bonus set, which says as follows: increases the bearer's break effect by 16%. After the wearer inflicts weakness break on an enemy, regenerates 3 energy. Mind you, I want to clarify that I find this set to be best on Fugue at Eidolon 2. Before that, I don't know the calculations, but I think I would go with what everybody says of the Iron Cavalry set. But at Eidolon 2, this is so freaking strong. Take into account that we're already regenerating 35 energy, right? However, because of this set in particular, whenever we cast our ultimate, we make it so that Fugue, instead of regenerating 35 energy, now regenerates 65 energy whenever she casts her ult. This is a 50% refund for just using your ult in Pure Fiction. Isn't that just broken? Now, here's the thing. It is important to highlight that this 65 refund will only happen if Fugue is the one to break all enemies. Otherwise, if you break all enemies with a different character, like Rappa, she will only regenerate 30 energy. Which, in all honesty, is still a lot in the grand scheme of things. This is because the Thief of Shooting Meteor set only works if the wearer is the one to break opponents, unlike Fugue's Eidolon 2, which works whenever something is broken. Okay, but now that we finished explaining what Fugue Eidolon 2 does, and just like the whole concept of the kit in general, of how we're building Fugue, we gotta go into her teammates, which essentially is what further breaks the game. And that is purely, in my opinion, because of the Harmony Trailblazer. The Harmony Trailblazer has a passive talent that is essentially Fugue's Eidolon 2, but better. The main reason why I'm saying this is because you can actually level it up and make it be even more energy than what it's supposed to quote-unquote be. And that is a grand total of 11 energy per enemy broken by any party member. So you know how like we were getting 65 energy just for casting our ultimate with Fugue? Just for casting Fugue's ultimate, we're giving the Trailblazer 110 energy out of their 140 energy. This means that you essentially just need to use your freaking like skill and you get that ultimate back again on the Harmony Trailblazer. Now, you may be wondering, okay, but like the Harmony Trailblazer ult doesn't really do any damage. So what good does that even do for me? Here's the thing. You can equip the Dance 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 light cone onto your Trailblazer, which essentially makes it so that you get another fast forward. Guess what? We have duplicated Fugue's Eidolon 2 into our characters in the most absurd way possible, because now, if we're able to cast the Trailblazer's ultimate and then followed by Fugue's ultimate, not only did we get a 58 advance forward for the entire team, but also the Harmony Trailblazer just regenerated essentially all of their energy, and Fugue regenerated half of their energy. It's beyond stupid, and I love it. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, I've been mentioning how this is purely from just using both Fugue and the Harmony Trailblazer. We haven't even added even more factors into the equation, because we have 3 potential teammates that can essentially further enhance our power. In particular, you can have your main DPS, which is going to be either Rappa or Firefly, and I personally find that Rappa is the best candidate for this because at E0 she can absolutely decimate everything. However, Firefly at Eidolon 2, which is a bit of a far stretch, hence why I don't personally recommend it, but it's still a lot of fun if you do have Firefly Eidolon 2, you can essentially just keep on breaking and regenerating so much energy for the Trailblazer that it becomes borderline absurd. The other allies that you can potentially have are Ruan Mei, of course, might as well have even more, whatchamacallit, like speed, even more break, even more damage, and you can have like all the delays to the point that you can apparently just send Gepard to the Shadow Realm. Because some of you guys might have looked at the thumbnail and be like, oh, like Gepard at 300 action value, what an absurd little thing to do. Here's the thing, that is not even me doctoring the image to make it like clickbaity. That is in fact something that happened. I sent, Gepard was not gonna move until next Christmas. And last but not least, I feel like, a very important part of the team, which sometimes I replace Ruan Mei with because I need survivability, and that is Lingsha. And the reason why, in particular, I really have enjoyed using Lingsha on the team is because Lingsha's ultimate, while it doesn't have an Omni Ignore like both Rappa and Fugue have, which is also a very important detail that I completely missed to say. Yeah, like this can essentially work against like nearly any team, because both Rappa and Fugue don't really care what the enemy has. The Trailblazer does, and that would be a bit of like a downside in that regard where it might be slower if there are no enemies that are weak to imaginary damage. So just quick disclaimer now that I remembered. But yeah, using Lingsha is great, especially if there are enemies that are weak to fire, because now you're able to just cast Lingsha's ultimate, break all enemies, and then sometimes, I don't remember what her rabbit is called, but her summon essentially can also go, attack, break enemies again, potentially, and then you essentially just did a lot of damage. You just regenerated all of your Trailblazer and Fugue's ultimates, and guess what? You can advance forward again. I love it. I'm like weirdly hyped while I'm narrating this video, because this is the most amount of fun I think I have had playing the game. At the same time, I also felt horrible as a human being towards NPCs, which I feel like is the first time that I've had that within Star Rail. Like, it was fun doing that in Divergent Universe, but now I'm doing it outside of it. And that is hilarious. Like, for a moment, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like Hule. I was the Hule to these enemies in Pure Fiction. I had infinite turns. I am the one that decides when I stop attacking, and that is never. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this massive splurge of information that I have been providing in this video. I know that this is like way more energy than I usually have whenever I make these videos, but I've just been having so much fun, and I want to share this build with all of you guys, especially again for those that do have Fugue at Eidolon 2, those that might have Firefly at Eidolon 2. For Firefly, it also works. It's not as enjoyable as, you know, playing it with Firefly at that maximum power, quote unquote, because you can more effectively abuse the game that way. But with Rappa, it's super easy, and I've just been enjoying that very much. Throughout the process in this video, in the background, you might have been seeing both characters and some like weird case scenarios, just to kind of have a more unbiased, quote unquote, take on this video. I decided to make a case scenario where I'm using my 5-star light cones, because I do have both Rappa and Fugue's 5-star light cones. However, in another case, I decided to switch it for the 4 stars, which would be the Charmony Festival light cone for Rappa, the one that has like Sunday in it. And for Fugue, because I couldn't really find another light cone that I really enjoyed, I kind of just gave her the Before the Tutorial Mission light cone, maybe to get more energy. So, I mean, that's just kind of something that happened. Also, I don't know, I'm not sure, I haven't really done the calculation. I personally put both my Trailblazer and Fugue on energy ropes rather than break effect ropes, because again, I just kind of want to spam ultimates as fast as possible, which again has been really, really fun. My one issue is that I have learned that I could be doing more damage. Upon testing and upon just looking at my builds, I only have 83 break effect on my Trailblazer, and that is so embarrassing to see. That being said though, again, this has been a lot of fun. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this build. If you were able to try this build, let me know what your experience was with it. And I'm hoping you all are having a wonderful and amazing rest of your day, night, morning, whenever you're watching this video. And before we wrap it up, actually, I want to do a quick few little messages and thank yous. This is the last video of the year. Like, it's absolutely wild that we have gone from just a very small amount of subscribers at the beginning of the year to where we are now at nearly 3,350. It blows my mind that we are at the point that we are right now. And I want to thank each and every single one of you guys who have commented on the videos, who have been able to interact here, who have fact-checked me when I have been a kind of mythos emanator and I mispronounced a few things or kind of misinterpreted a few things, because I know that that's bound to happen, and I genuinely love the fact that we can have like these communications and discussions with you guys in the videos. It's a lot of fun, and also I love to hear your guys' interpretations on the lore and things, so by all means just keep on doing that. It's absolutely beautiful, and yeah, I love this community. Additionally, I want to add a sort of extra thank you segment here to a couple of people from the community, because it's been an amazing year. I want to thank Evening Music for being an amazing friend. They're also a streamer, so definitely go check them out. They, in fact, were the person that did my Fugue pulls, because I wasn't able to be there in person to actually do my own pulls, so I kind of just gave it to them for content, and it was hilarious. Once that video is out, y'all will get to laugh at my misery. That being said, no, it's been super fun. I want to also thank Elle here, one of the mods from Eve, because they've been, again, also just an amazing friend. As a matter of fact, the footage about Firefly in this video is from their own account that they recorded for me to use, so I'm very, very grateful for that. Additionally, Nia, again, another mod from that community over there. They've just been amazing friends, and overall, just being able to hang out with them has been a lot of fun. And last but not least, I also want to thank Ritai, Shido Matsunoki, and the Yanqing Abundance server for all the support, all the kind words, and just in general, how amazing of a community they have been. I am glad that I've been able to get to know them, and just, yeah, I just wanted to make like this extra segment in the video, even though it might actually just kill a little bit of the algorithm for it, because I'm probably talking a little bit too much on viewer retention. You know, viewer retention might not like sick. I just felt like this is a message that I just wanted to say, and yeah, I'm just grateful for this entire year. I am happy by what we have achieved, and once again, thank you to all of you guys. I hope you all have an amazing new year. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whatever time zone applies to you at the time of watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.